with less than 1,500 people, no minorities, Western Kansas. I was exposed to nothing growing up. And then I moved to the big city of Topeka, Kansas. And I mean, I saw that there was more out there, and there wasn't just that one worldview of things. So yeah, education and actually being exposed to things and other people and other people's lives really, I guess, made me liberal.
Well, reality has a well-known liberal bias.
Yes.
So the one thing that, and we should probably wrap up pretty soon here, but
yeah, I was going to say.
One of the things that I found was a piece from September in the Washington Post with a group of teenagers, and these are really smart teenagers. They're in IB classes, and, they're getting all A's and everything. And they went to the Newseum, which is like a news museum, and they were trying to learn how to evaluate if something was fake news. And it turned out they're really bad at it. And these are really smart kids who are getting a good education, but it turned out the reason they were so bad at it is because they thought everything was fake news. So at this point, they've been conditioned to think that nothing is true, which is, of course, just as dangerous as thinking everything's true.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not sure exactly where to go with that, except to, maybe it goes back to this idea that there are some sources that we just have to trust, or that we need to help our kids somehow understand that there are things that are believable. When I was growing up, we had a set of encyclopedias in the house. And so anytime we had a question that my parents either didn't know the answer to or just wanted to help us learn how to think for ourselves, they would say, okay, there's the encyclopedias, go look it up. And so, in my household, that set of encyclopedias was a trusted source. And, I think that's true. It was certainly a source that had been compiled and edited, and that doesn't mean there was never anything wrong in it, but it was a good, trustworthy source. And where are you going to send a kid now for that? Wikipedia? I mean, what if it's the one day that somebody decided to mess with that page and it's not trustworthy?
Overall, Wikipedia does average out, though.
Yeah, I think by and large it does. But I don't know that a kid is going to believe Wikipedia the same way that I sort of had a reverential belief for that set of encyclopedias.
Well, having a physical object to believe in is much more compelling than having a virtual object.
Yeah.
Just from an evolutionary standpoint. People learn better from printed material in books than they do reading things on screens. And I have to wonder if there's also a deeper trust response to something that's physically in your hand as opposed to being virtual. So yeah, I guess we have to get encyclopedias then.
I guess so. All right, so if anyone's looking for anywhere to donate some money, we could use a set of encyclopedias. Do they still make those?
I'm pretty sure we can find one at the Hyde Park book sale.
Yeah, probably. Or my parents' house. All right, so we've talked a lot about fake news. There's probably a lot more we could say. I will post on our post on Mom Jean's Media, I'll put a lot of these links that I was talking about because I think that they're really interesting. And there's some good resources about sort of how to teach kids to be media literate.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
All right. Thank you to our guests.
It was a pleasure.
As always, you can contact us at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments, or you want to be a guest on a future episode. If anyone is an expert in taxes, talk to us.
Yes, we're looking for tax experts.
You can also find us on Twitter at twobroadstalk, and you can find us on Facebook. And please find us on iTunes and leave a star review.
5-star review.
5-star review. No. No fake news here. Leave an honest review, please. And you can catch us again. We're lining up our next several episodes, so we should have a lot of good stuff coming up throughout November to get you through the horror of remembering what was happening a year ago.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Arthur, do you want to have a podcast?
Yes. I have two.
What do you want your podcast to be about?
Beat it.
What do you want to say about Beat It?
I'll say, where does rain come from Beat It?
Where does rain come from? Well, remember, rain comes from water. What happens to the water?
It melts.
It melts. Does it go up to the sky?
Yeah. Into the clouds.
Into the clouds, and then what happens to it?
It gets really, really heavy and drops down.
That's absolutely right. So you want to have a science podcast?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, can you say goodbye, podcast listeners?
Goodbye, podcast listeners.
Our theme music is called Sweeter Vermouth and was composed by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. It is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. Our logo was created by Matthew Weflin, expressly for Two Broads Talking Politics, and is copyright 2017. You can contact us at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com or at twobroadstalk on Twitter. Our podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and TuneIn. Please let us know if you have any trouble finding us.